everybody and welcome back. We are here to continue with the Lapbook project using my industrial grunge kit. It's been a little while since I've been on camera, although I have been doing a few bits off of camera. The only reason for that, as some of you know, I am trying to move, but we've had lots of viewings, so I've had to keep my craft room obviously tidy, and as we all know, when you are in the middle of a project, your room is anything but tidy. So I haven't really been able to really get my teeth stuck into this, but we have a bit of a window where I haven't got viewing, so we are ploughing on. So the right hand side is all complete. That was all finished last time. It does need to still have ephemera and things put in it, but I will do that later on. I think I said in the last video, originally I was going to have a journal coming off the spine, but the way this is looking, how thick these sides are, I don't think I'm going to have my journal here. So I have worked it so my journal will be inside this side. So what I have prepared, I'm going to take some paper clips off as I go. So this pocket obviously mirrors this one, so that's going to go on the side there. So I'm going to glue that down in just a moment. I then have on this side, let me just pull this off because again everything's all paper clipped. So I've got this paper just as a kind of backing to cover up the file folder. And then I created this. So this is an embossing folder that I kind of just put inks inside. Not very many inks, just a few little ones. So I did some gold and some browns. If I'm honest, most of the ink kind of evaporated because obviously with the heat of the laminator. But some of the gold has kind of stayed in place, and then I run it through an embossing folder, and if I kind of shimmer it to the light you can see, but they are all different cogs. And then I've just cut this window out of a page, and then I'm going to pop that on there, and that's going to be a pocket. So that's going to be on that side. And then as we open out again, I've got this bit which move that out of the way. So this was one of the pages, so I've just cut off enough that fit on this panel here, and then the rest of it I just folded so it then fit on this panel. And then I've taken another piece of the kit and I've literally just sewn it to this flap so that this then becomes a pocket. So that's going to be a pocket that folds over, and then I will have a journaling card or something inside of there. So yeah, that's going to go there. This one, I'm going to have that as the backing paper. I then have this tri-fold tag. It was originally like this in the kit. And then all I've done on the other side of it, only on two of the pieces, I've stuck other pages from the kit just so that there's a little bit of extra writing space. I mean, you can write obviously in these pieces here, but that gives you more of a writing space, and you get a little one here. The back is blank, but I'm going to stick that down onto here so that it kind of opens up as a tri-fold, but I'm debating keeping the back open, so that's again another pocket there. So I think that's what I'm going to do for that one. And then moving over this section here, because this is the deepest, because this is where we've got this expandable spine, this is where I'm going to have my journal. So what I have put together, so this is going to be the backing page. This is going to hide all of those back ends of the brads there, so that's going to go on there. I then have, this was just a piece of the hanging file folder that I've used to create this out of. This was just a little bit that was kind of left over, but since it already has that natural hinge in, all I've done is I've used some of the faux leather that I've used on here as well. And I've just kind of covered the front section and then folded it over as well. And that I'm going to use to create an expanded pocket to go on there. And I've got my little wing tabs to make it an expandable pocket. So that's going to go on there. It is obviously a very short pocket. Then I've got these, which are probably going to have to be cut down, but these are kind of essentially going to go underneath and come round, and then policy closure, policy closure. I'm going to have two of them. And then they're going to have eyelets in, and then the string will go around those like that. So that will then kind of strap in the journal that will go in there. It will obviously be a very small journal, but that's fine. yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. So as I said, these will probably be cut down. But they're the bits I have all prepared. So I think we're just going to crack on with it today, try and get as much done as we can. Because like I said, I am rather behind with this. It's only because I have to keep stopping, making sure my craft room's tidy, because we're having obviously lots of viewings going on at the moment. So I think we'll start with this pocket since we are open on this bit. So I'm going to move that bit over for a moment. Obviously I can't glue this bit down because these need to go underneath. What I do think I want to do though, I'm just going to move some bits around on my desk just so I can shuffle that forward a little bit. So these are obviously the hinged pieces. So for those of you that might want to make your own hinged pocket, these are 2 inches wide and then they're scored every ½ an inch just to kind of create that. Well, it's either a W or an M, depending which way round it's round. Then my pocket is again 2 inches wide. With my leather on, obviously that makes it a little bit taller. It's 2 3/4 of an inch. So, like I said, it's not a huge deep pocket, but it's enough to obviously be able to get the journal in. So that's going to get fed in there. So it just makes that bit expandable. Okay, so I think I might glue that bit in first. Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to be able to put these on, don't I? So let's figure out where these are going to go. So let's see, this whole strip is about 7 3/4. So I'm just going to change rulers because this ruler has, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it has a centre marking and then you can have the equal distance going out. It is unfortunately in centimetres, not in inches, but it will at least help me kind of figure out where I'm going with it. So let's move that over a little bit. Right, so that's the centre. Let's just figure out roughly where we want these. So you've got roughly 10 centimetres on each side. So I think I'm actually going to want it. Let's move that up a minute. Might do it at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to put a little dot there in the leather. I'm going to move that one up. I'm going to do the same. So at 5 1/2, I'm going to pop a little dot there. Okay, so I know that you probably can't see that on camera, but I've got 2 dots here. That's where those are going to go. And then obviously I need to pierce a hole in these as well. So I'm just going to aim roughly for the middle. Nope. That's a bit better. So my crocodile is going to be best, and I think I'm going to use the smallest one. So I'm just eyeballing where I put the little dot. Okay, and I'm going to do the dot in here. Now because it's quite far in, I think I'm going to need my crocodile big bite because this obviously won't reach in enough. So I have to get my big bite out. So bringing this one in, again, I do apologise, I realise that you can't see where I'm going, but I'm just punching in my holes where I put the dots. Right, and then to keep it in theme with the others, I'm going to use these that look like screws again. I'm just going to lay them flat underneath. Now I don't push down too much because obviously you do want some room underneath for the string to be able to go. And do the same for the other one. Right, to make sure that they kind of stay in place and don't start moving around, I am going to put a little bit of tape over them. So you can use washi tape if you want to. I'm just using this. This is a Scotch tape. And it just, one, stops it from moving around. It also stops things from catching on it as it's kind of going in to the pocket. Do the same on the other side. Again, just give it a bit of a push. Right, so that's that all sorted. Okay, so now we should be able to put these bits in. So I want it so that this part is obviously where the journal's going to get slot in. So when I'm putting it in, I'm going to butt it right down to the bottom. And then when you're looking down on it, it looks like a W. Okay, so that V is where the journal's going to go. And again, I'm just going to pop a clip on and let that dry for a moment. Right, these bits, I think I want to ink up a little bit, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. So I have been using ground espresso, and I think I've still got plenty of ink on here, so I'm just going to dirty them up a little bit just so they're not quite so white. Right, okay, so that's that, and then I want to put an eyelet in, so I'm eyeballing the middle. Oops, and the same on this side. Just going to trim off these bits of fabric that are poking up. Then need my eyelets. Oh, almost put that in upside down. So that's those in. Right, this should be drier now, so let's bring this forwards. So I said that's going to go on there, this is going to go on here. And then, yeah, so as you can see, I mean, this is far too long, so it probably doesn't need to be that at all. So I think I'm going to cut off about there. I'm going to do the same for this one. Okay, just going to see, because I need to obviously line up where these are going to go. So I am going to eyeball it again, roughly. Here is the middle. So that's where I've got to stick on these. Right, I'm going to let that dry before I do anything else to that one. So let's move on to this bit. So this bit can get stuck down. That bit is obviously going to go on top. So let's get this bit done. Goes on there. Again, making sure I'm staying within the score lines because I don't want it interfering with the closure. So that one goes there like that. Right, this is going to get stuck down. I have done a little bit of sewing on here. I didn't go all the way round though. Just thinking if I want to add any eyelets in here, or maybe just punch the holes. I might just punch the holes. Okay, well that just looks a tinsy bit better anyway. Right, so that one's going to get stuck down on there. I just need to think about the closure. How am I going to keep that closed? So before I've used magnets, I could do that again, couldn't I? So if I move it over, I could have the magnet here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I think I'm going to grab a magnet to put in here, and I'm going to do something similar to what I did on the other side. So have like a wash or something here for it to kind of cling to. So I have these teeny tiny magnets. They're small, but they are quite chunky. So they're not great if you've got something flat, but because it's going to be wrapped in a fabric, it's not too bad. Right, so I've got a little bit of this, which is what I used last time. So let's just think. So if that's going to get stuck to the side, this will need to come out about so much. It probably doesn't have to be as wide as that. Now all I did last time was use a bit of double-sided tape in the middle. And then peel off the backing, which is always a bit more tricky to do when it's on fabric. Yeah. Actually, let's think, where's the middle going to be? So I'm going to bend it backwards. That's going to go there. So I'm going to then think about where it's going to go here. that's just enclosed the magnet. I don't care that you can see it a little bit, that really doesn't bother me. I'm going to ink over it, it's probably going to highlight the magnet even more. Again, that's fine. And then that's going to get attached on there. So when that's glued in, the washer just needs to go there and that will hold it in place. So I'm going to bring the glue back. I'll just slot it in a little bit further. So the nice thing is that double-sided tape can obviously hold it in place as well. So just going to bring it in a little bit closer. It's not even straight. That's a bit better. Okay, so now we just need to find a washer or something for it to stick to. Right, okay, so I found another little rusty washer that can be used. So I think what I'm going to do is just stick this into place, and then obviously we can figure out where the washer's got to go. So I'm going to have it obviously going around the outside because this will be a pocket. Now because this is washi tape, I think I might use my beacon just because this is quite a shiny material, so I'm not sure how well the other one will stick. Right, while that's doing its thing, let's move back to this one. So that's going to go on there, and I can actually glue this down now. Again, because we've got these and the faux leather, I think I'm going to use the beacon just to really make sure that this is secure. Right, so that's on there. We've then got this. Which is going to go on here. Just going to very quickly trim up this side a little bit. It's better. Right, okay, so that's that part. I will attach some string and that will kind of tie round there, but I think I'll do that when this is all a bit more dry. So for now I'm just going to tuck those inside there, just so they're out of the way for a minute. And we can come back to here. So that's my rusty washer, isn't it? So last time this glue held just fine, so I'm going to apply some glue to the bottom of here and let that close. Okay, again we're going to let that dry. So moving on to this panel. This one I'm just going to simply stick down. We've got obviously an opened pocket there, but this one just needs sticking, so that's quite simple. Excellent, so that's that done. So that's how the inside is looking. Now we've got all these bits on the outside, so again this just needs gluing down, that's easy. Right, that's that one. Then this is going to get stuck over the top, but for this one, again, just because of the stitching and stuff, I think I'm going to use my beacon. So I'm just going to let that all drizzle down because that takes a minute. Now I did reinforce this just because it's easier when I'm sticking the acetate in. So obviously I've got the page with the design on, then I've got the acetate, and then this is like a thicker cardstock just to give this a bit of stability, because obviously I knew that this was going to be a pocket. So I just wanted to make sure that it was nice and stable for whatever was going to go inside. I'm just going to open it up just so I can push it down better from the other side. Awesome. And then on this side, the final part then is this part here. So this is going to have this pocket on. Again, just because of the stitching and because I've used that magazine again to back it, I'm going to just use the beacon, just because it just sticks just that little bit better to surfaces like this. Again, just going to give that a push from the back, just because it helps. Let's see how this is. Excellent, so that's that on there. These then open up. We've got a pocket to the back. Yeah. Okay. Happy with all of that. Right, okay, so I think we are pretty much almost there. I mean, you can see how full this is, and we haven't got our journal in there yet. That's obviously going to open out a little bit more like that once we've got our journal in. But yeah, this is already becoming quite chunky. I've still got to do the card that's going to go on the front, so I'll get that done, I think, between now and the next video. And then I'm going to start just loading this up with the different ephemera pieces that are from the kit. So there will be one more video which will literally just be me putting all the last bits in and giving you a final tour. But I am really happy with how this is all looking. I think it's come together really well. I know lots of people have been enjoying this process and have been asking me when the next video is coming out, so I do apologise, like I said, for the delay. It's just purely because we've had lots of viewing, so I've had to keep the craft room tidy. But it is coming to an end. I'm determined to get this finished before the 1st of May, so I have got a couple more days to go. But yeah, it's coming along brilliantly and I really, really love it. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching and for supporting. And I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.